Hello everyone. So, weekend update. I've decided to make a video for this one versus just some pictures. So, here's said video. This week I went ahead and spent time doing electrical in the room upstairs that will be kind of my electronics/electronic storage server area, office, hangout space. Right? So, kind of a multi-purpose room, just kind of space for me. So what I've done this week is I brought two circuits up here, got in all the outlets around the room. So all the outlets are on one circuit, 120 amp circuit, and then one duplex receptacle that is over here is intended to be for the server and the networking equipment, so its own circuit for all of that. So let me show you what we got done a little bit closer. So we start with over here, just kind of poke my head through the wall so we can take a look at this. Coming out of the top of the panel here is these two 12-2 Romexes. So they come along the top here of this wall, on the front of the wall, shoot behind that top plate and up the purlins. So you might be saying, like, why did he run that like on the front of the wall? Well, this wall is not done being built yet. The vertical studs are done, the 2x6 studs are done, but across the front of this will be 10-foot 2x4s. So there's gonna be horizontal 2x4s, and the reason for that is there's gonna be a vertical steel. The same steel that's on the outside, but in white, will go on the front, because this is the garage space, and we're gonna finish off all the inside garage space, the bottom 10 foot of it, with metal. So this electrical is running between where the metal will be and those 2x6 studs. That's what that space is for. So we've gone ahead and run that. Now that I've got these studs built out, I gotta clean up this mess. This was just kind of temporary for the washer and dryer and the hot water heater that are down below. So I gotta clean all that up and finish this permanent run, wiring it into the panel. So anyway, two circuits come up. One shoots across the front of these purlins, right down into that duplex receptacle. The other one comes down right here and hits this first receptacle, the closest receptacle here in the corner. So then I come out of that receptacle going this direction. I catch two receptacles here, one on the front wall, and then shoot up to the TV. Going back here, there's receptacles along the back wall. And then I jump over here. There's one more in the back corner here. And then we cruise over for this wall. And we finish with one in the center of this front wall. So like I said, down here, there's one circuit just for this duplex receptacle. And this is gonna be for where the servers are. So let me kind of show you the plan for my layout up here. But before that, actually, let me talk about lighting. So lighting, I still have to do. But I've got this 14-2 Romex coming up from the lighting circuit down below, bringing power to the switch box. From there, I got to shoot two legs up, one over to two wall sconces that will sit here. You just kind of see them there. They're going to be at the 6-foot mark up here on the wall. And then there's going to be two wall sconces over here too, which is sitting there. I haven't nailed these up yet because let me show you the plan here. So see this truss? I need to get this at the 6-foot mark directly below the truss. So I'm gonna have to block this out a little bit or either put a runner across there and mount this, you know, in this orientation. I'll probably do that route versus blocking. But the reason for that is because we're gonna drywall the bottom of this right here. So this will get drywalled and this rat run has to stay here. So we're gonna beef it out and make it look like a nice beam. And on the top side of it, I'm gonna run LED strip, the whole 30 foot of the room. So I'll be able to do up lighting on the drywall. So that will light up the drywall real nice throughout the room. But what I don't want to happen, because the drywall will cover the top part of the truss, but the bottom part of this truss is still gonna be exposed to the room. So I'm gonna paint it white so that it blends in kind of with the ceiling. But if there was a sconce, say here, what would happen is every time that sconce was turned on, it would create a shadow over here. right? Create a shadow on the ceiling over here. And so I don't want that. I want the shadow to be directly up. So this sconce here and this sconce here is going to be dead plumb with the truss. And then the other one will be kind of balanced opposite of it, both there and here. So that's how I'm going to do the lighting up here. So I still got to finish the lighting, getting those 2 legs up to the wall sconces, getting 1 leg coming up here to where the LED strips will be. And then after that, I'll be able to finish up the tongue and groove, and we'll be able to get this insulated. But the layout for this room, like I was going to tell you, so on this wall here is going to be the TV. So there won't be anything along this wall really, the whole length, because that's kind of like the main thoroughfare for the room. And then along this wall right here, there's going to be a bench the whole length, a nice bench, like a built-in. And then I'll be able to set the printers and the game consoles and stuff for the TV will be built in, and all the printers and all that nonsense that I have will go here. And then against this back wall will be the 2 recliners that I have as part of a love seat recliner setup at the house. I'm gonna bring that out here. Now, this room right here is 6 foot tall here, but you can see the truss is a lot lower. So what I don't want is you to have to try to walk through anywhere back here. So I'm gonna lay the room out so that there won't be any place to walk back there. You walk up here, right? So there'll be that bench, or I'm sorry, those seats there, and then there'll be along here, there'll be another built-in desk that comes out into like an L shape. And then I'm gonna do a pony wall right here that separates kind of the space, not all the way up, but just a little bit, probably about 4 foot high. And then behind that pony wall right here is where my servers are gonna sit. And that's why that duplex receptacle is there, is because the servers and the networking equipment and everything up in this area is gonna have its own circuit. So that's what the duplex is for. And then around the room here, some more built-in benches and storage and stuff like that. So the only other thing that I'll have to do is I'll have to go ahead and get the line sets for the mini split run up here. I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna do it here on this wall or if I'm gonna do it on this wall. So I got a little bit more reading to do. A lot of the reading that I've done says, you know, if it is a long, narrow room, that you don't want to put the air conditioning unit on one end because you won't get the other end heated and cooled very effectively. So they said to put it on the sidewall about 1/3 of the way down. So if I put it here, you know, it's not quite 1/3 centered between these 2 sconces. It's not quite 1/3, but it will look it'll look more aesthetically pleasing, and then be down a little bit further. And then I thought, just, you know, worst case scenario, I just set like a tower fan here on the floor just to circulate some air. So all in all, this room is very nearly wired. I got maybe about an hour more to go to run these switch legs, mount these sconces and stuff. And then electrical will be done up here. I do want to finish up this tongue and groove in the next couple weekends, so that way this will be completely sealed up and we'll be able to get somebody in here to spray insulation, because honestly we're really close. I keep saying that, but I just have to finish up this electrical, get these AC units installed, and then get this area spray foamed. And then these 3 rooms are actually going to be pretty nice as far as being climate controlled goes. You know, I'll grab a couple doors, throw some doors up on the gym, door up here, so that way we can start heating and cooling these 3 spaces once the installation is done. This morning I came out, it was kind of cold. It was like 40 degrees this morning. So I know those of you watching up in the north are like, Dan, that's not cold. But you know, to me it is. So I do want to get these spaces heated and cooled, so that way when I'm working in them, they're comfortable. So the other thing is I'm putting up wood, right, that has a tendency to heat, you know, when it you know, heats and cools, and gets more moist and more humid or whatever, it can expand and contract. So if we're gonna have wood flooring up in here, or whatever up in this space, you want to get it acclimatized to the space before you install it. So I got to keep thinking about that too. So I don't want to do too much up here when this whole space isn't climate controlled, because it won't turn out as good. So yeah, that's my update for this weekend. So I'm pretty much done for this weekend. Tomorrow being Monday, work day, it's been 3 weeks since I've done laundry, so I got to spend the afternoon doing laundry. Yesterday was Halloween, or Friday was Halloween. So with Halloween over, that means it's technically Christmas right now. So I'm sure the boss is gonna want to start getting down the Halloween decorations and getting up the Christmas decorations. So better get to it. Y'all have a good one.